Well, hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome if you are joining us today. I am delighted to be here. My guest today is Adam Bastick, owner of Real Talk Group, based in Canada. So welcome, Adam.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cody. I'm really happy to be here.
Oh, it's lovely to have you here. So would you mind just letting everybody know a little bit about what you do and your business for us?
Absolutely. So I am the owner and director of a company called the Real Talk Group. We are a headhunting company based in Vancouver, Canada. We specialize in construction and engineering niches. We primarily focus on Western Canada, but we work across the country and in the US as well. So that's a bit about what I do.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much. So let's get to the starting point. Let's talk about what you were experiencing. Tell us some of the challenges that you were experiencing before you joined the program.
Yeah, so as an operator, you're doing a little bit of everything. You are, doing the candidate sourcing, the business development, and everything in between. So the challenge that I was having was just I knew I had the potential to take this business further. I just didn't know how to do it and how to strategize and how to plan and how to effectively execute on those things. So it was just very, let's say, disorganized, and my day was just whatever comes up, you're firefighting basically. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's interrupting you. Yes, I know what you mean. That sort of classic reactive approach and in recruitment, it's very easy to be reactive, isn't it? But of course, if you're reacting to things as well as managing a business, then you don't feel like you're really progressing the business. You tend to sit still, you stand still, but feel like that sort of like swan, where your legs are going nuts underneath you, but you're not really getting anywhere.
Absolutely. And if you let that, reaction take over the day, I find that's all you're doing. You're just that's the position I was in. I was just constantly fighting fires and that kind of very feast and famine classic sort of, solo operator situation I was in, where I get roles and then I scramble to fill those roles, and then once they're filled, then your pipeline's empty, and then this cycle just starts all over again. So that's
Yeah.
what really, really interested me about the Rocket program.
Yeah. How did you hear about us, first of all?
I think I heard about you through YouTube. I like to kind of keep a pulse on, all the different things going on in the recruitment world. I'm always interested in learning and been into sort of personal development over the last 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Yeah, and we're much more prevalent actually on YouTube, so that's great. You possibly did find our channel there. Okay, so you were having these peaks, these troughs, months, working very reactively, feeling as though you knew that you needed and wanted to grow the business, but actually you were looking for the answers on how to do that, and how to do that with ease and speed. Yeah. So tell me about some of the specific things that you've changed about your approach since you've been on the Rocket program.
Yeah, so there's been a lot. Since I started the program, where I was kind of working on every aspect of the business, one of the big things that I did and that the program teaches you is about how to delegate, and with that I hired a VA from the Philippines. I actually hired two. I hired one in the Philippines and one in India. And that has been such a massive help with candidate sourcing, also with business development as well. I had the individual helping me with initial outreach through LinkedIn and email. And there was something that you had said in one of the videos about Cristiano Ronaldo. You wouldn't have him being in goal, and that was just such a profound thing that I thought about. I was like, oh my God, I'm in goal. Or scoring goal, you know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
that was a huge difference. and a realization, I guess, and teaching you that where your skill set and where your team's skill set is best suited in the business, rather than this, this old kind of 360 model, which is all I was ever used to. But with the problem with that is you're doing some aspects that you're great at, and then a lot of things that you're not very good at and don't enjoy. And
that's right.
and yeah, so just learning those things was really, really helpful.
Yeah, indeed. It's one of those things, isn't it? The 360 worked so many years ago, but actually now, and it's not until, like you're saying, that you sort of unpick it and look at it in the real light of day of what we do now, and the role of a recruiter, and you think, yeah, there's no way, the way that the markets have changed, the way that the role has changed in terms of what you need to do around candidate acquisition, what you need to do around delivery, and what you need to do about business development. Why on earth would we have one person doing all of those things? It's like going in a restaurant, and the person that comes to the door takes you to your table and then takes your order and then rushes out and starts, making your starter and brings that out and then goes out and does your main course, etc., and then go and does your dessert. It's just not possible. And so when we realize that and we chunk it down, and as you're saying, you look at where you're most in flow, like what's your natural genius zone, where are you most comfortable, and where do you bring the biggest value to your business? Once we get you in that position, and then we build the pitch with the right people around you, or the right tools and the right tactics around you, then you can still 3 or 4 times your revenue, even with, like you're saying, a VA supporting you.
Yeah.
It's not like you need tons of people. It's actually about strategies that you're using, and the tools and the techniques with those individuals. So what's different then? So since your VA's been working with you, what difference has that made for you on the business development front, for example?
Well, I mean, it's allowed me time to. So my genius zone, I sit right in the middle. I'm a delivery guy. I'm not necessarily knocking on the. I don't necessarily enjoy banging on the doors and doing initially them, but I'm great at developing client relationships, in those client relationships and things like that. I'm also really good at interviewing candidates, bringing them along in the process, but I don't necessarily enjoy the initial fishing exercise of it. Let's put it that way. So
yeah,
what it's allowed me to do is I've been able to offset those two activities to my VA, so that, like you were saying, I can really focus in my genius zone, and that's where I really excel. Once I've got some warm clients on the hook, I can really kind of develop them, deepen those relationships. Same with candidates. Once my VA's gone out and done the big kind of netting exercise, or going through our database, grabbing those sort of warm candidates, I can grab those, out of that initial 100, I can whittle that sort of 10 down and have really, really valuable conversations with them. So essentially what that's done is just with that, I've been able to leverage more. I've been able to service more clients, make more placements. Our billings were up last year, like 30%. So yeah, it's been really great.
Yeah, super. Okay, so your VA's been helping you. So you've restructured so that you're working in flow, and then you've got this support mechanism. Like you say, I love your analogy. It's like going out fishing. It's got the big net. That's collecting all the right types of candidates for you. And then you've got this funnel, which is bringing in your clients. And then you're doing the delivery piece, which is superb. What else have you implemented that has made a difference to the business and to the results?
I think getting more, or for us, it was getting more involved and understanding our data. I'm not a data guy, and I didn't do any of that tracking prior to the program. I didn't even know how many, resumes I had to send to get an interview, and are really great because it gives me a target to go after every every day, week, month, and year sort of thing to know, okay, if we're down on candidates, if we're down on interviews or whatever, we need to, up the ante on that area, because the overall end output is not going to hit what our targets are going to be. And I never tracked any of that. I never chose to do any of that. So getting is just been really, really changing for us.
Yeah. What changes it made then? What difference has that made?
So one of the big things we did was really delving into the data. It really gave us a target of where to aim for, and that, so that I could understand, exactly about how many interviews I needed, how many candidates I needed to put in the funnel, how many, like I just said, interviews I needed to secure to make a placement. I never tracked any of that or understood any of that prior to the program. So now, I can sit back on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis and go, okay, are we on track? Do we need some candidates? Do we need to book more interviews? And then if we're not doing that, I can adjust those levers and diagnose what we're looking at. Okay, if we have enough candidates, are they the right quality of candidates? If we're not getting interviews, maybe it's because they're not the right quality of candidates, and so on and so on. It really kind of snowballs from there to understand and improve the quality of your business.
Yeah, brilliant. It makes such a difference, doesn't it? I know a lot of people, and particularly, sometimes not so much. It can be because you're solo, because you've kind of got everything in your head. So you feel like, well, I think I know what it is that I need to do. I'm sort of aware of what my stats are, or I'm aware of what I need to do. So we don't tend to lean in as much on reporting systems or, like you're saying, data to use, because we think we've kind of got a handle on what's going on. But actually the data, no matter how many people you've got in your business, gets you to see. It's like having that Formula One car, but you've got to lift the bonnet to actually have a look at what's going on underneath to make sure that everything's working properly. And it is your GPS, isn't it? For, okay, I now know exactly how to influence the outcome, the results of my business. And I can do that by looking at the data, and the data allows me to understand that. So it's super powerful. So but I mean, that's excellent for you in terms of pipelining, forecasting, and being able to decide and make decisions on business based on your data that you see.
Absolutely, yeah. And I didn't even really know, what data to track, like, sort of thing. So the program really helps with giving you those kind of key metrics that you need to be, you need to understand and need to be tracking on a kind of throughout the year, and microing that down. So that was certainly really, really good. And like I said, the output of that is you end up doing more deals because you know where you're going, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you know exactly what you need to do to make more of them, and you know what you need to do to make a placement, which is a big difference. So what sort of improvements have you seen, or revenue growth have you experienced? I know you mentioned actually the revenue growth, didn't you, for last year was 30%. What other improvements have you seen?
Yeah, so revenue growth was up 30% last year. I mean, we're actually, we're May, and it looks like we're actually going to be doing our last year's target already. We almost have done it, actually. So we're almost probably going to double our revenue this year, or we're on target to double our revenue, which is amazing. Well, that's like life-changing for my business and me personally as well. Other things, we've increased our average fee. I thought we had a pretty good fee anyway. 15 to 18 grand was kind of where we sat with our average fee. We're now working anything from 20 to 25 as well. We do more work in the US market gradually, which has also brought an increased fee in as well. So yeah, it's fantastic. you know, it just keeps us pushing. And you know, now I'm starting, as I say, we're almost halfway through the year. Now it goes into, okay, double the revenue. Okay, now what's the next level I want to take this business, kind of thing. So yeah.
Great, wonderful. And what about for your personal life? How's that changed?
Oh, that's like I'm way less stressed. I'm sleeping better. I can you know, I have a much more structured day now, and that kind of just helps with my own relaxation and mental health, let's put it that way. You know, not having those, oh, you know, are we going to have a down month or an up month? It's a little bit more consistent for us now. So
great.
We're way more organized, and you know, that just leads to way less stress, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and that's absolutely what we want, because
Yeah,
you know, running a business on your own and or being that CEO, that owner, has that responsibility, doesn't it? So
absolutely.
you know, we want that work-life balance, and truly having that work-life balance. Not I've got it, you know, but I'm still working 24/7. So that's great. So well done and excellent. So anything else that you wanted to share about the Rocket program that supported you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the technical side of things is really great. There's so much content in the program, so much useful content that I didn't even think about, and you know, that really helps propel your business. But you know, also it's a fantastic group. The coaches are great. My coach was really fantastic. You get so much guidance. There's experts in all different areas in the group. So if one person doesn't know something, you know, someone else certainly will, whether there's coaches in the program or even other folks in the cohort who are doing it with you. It's a really inclusive and supportive group, which I thought was amazing, actually. And yeah, you know, it's been, as I say, it's been life-changing for me. So it's been really great.
Yeah, fabulous. Well, thank you so much. Any final passing words of wisdom to anyone else who might be in the same position that you were, Adam, you know, a year ago, that was having these peaks and troughs and was struggling on their own? Any final words of advice to them?
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the fence, I would say go and do it, because you know, I don't jump into these things, you know, without thinking them through. And in all honesty, I wish I would have done it sooner. So so rather than just me kind of, you know, processing it, I wish I would have just jumped in and got started, because it can, you know, the output, much like the metrics, sooner you get started, the sooner you can make those improvements on the back end. So yeah, it's been really great, and I would encourage anyone to jump in and do it.
It's so true. Well, look, thank you so much. Really enjoyed our conversation, Adam. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that if you're listening to this interview, that you walk away believing you can do the same. And as Adam says, you know, if you're on the fence, just back yourself, take the action, because if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting the same result you're getting. And, you know, the faster you start on these things, the faster you get your wins. So if you want the same shifts as Adam with less time and energy, simple systems and tactics that will grow your business and create more abundance with less stress and work, then reach out to us. And if you want the plan of how to get your business to a 7-figure business, just click on the link below this call and we will show you how we help recruitment businesses to leverage more opportunities and make more placements. So thank you very much, Adam. Thanks for joining us today. And we will see you again very soon on our series. Thanks, guys.